Speaker, and I also give my thanks to you for hosting Grenfell United in Speaker's House this afternoon, because it gave us all a very good opportunity to listen to the testimonies of those who were affected by this awful tragedy. And my thoughts are also with those affected by the fire in Barking. And it really does highlight, Mr Speaker, how much still needs to be done to make sure that people can trust their homes to be safe when they are living in them. And the echoes from Grenfell are very clear with the case in Barking as well. People who had flagged time and time again that there were issues with their property who were not listened to. And I would ask the Minister, what is he going to do to ensure that those who raise concerns similar to those are actually listened to and action is taken? And I have the Grenfell United parliamentary briefing that they've produced, and their demands are absolutely reasonable. The things that they are asking for are not by any manner or means something that cannot be delivered by this government should they have the will to do so. So I would like to ask the Minister if he will look at their demand for a new separate consumer protection regulator to protect tenants and to change the culture of social housing across the country, particularly because in Scotland we have a Scottish housing regulator and we have had that since 2011, and that provides a very useful means for tenants and residents to flag things about their housing with the regulator, to have investigations taken and to have action taken, and can make a real difference to people. And I believe that if such a regulator had existed in England, that would have provided the means for residents to have those concerns heard. They ask for other things like immediate removal of dangerous cladding, improved fire safety regime, freedom of information to be extended to cover TMOs and housing associations, for a public authority accountability bill, for justice and change, and for the community to be listened to. And it is for that last one that I want to finish, Mr Speaker. Karim spoke movingly at the event in Speaker's House earlier on, and he said, "We are not going anywhere until people are safe in their homes and you treat them with respect." And both of those two things must be fulfilled for the people of Grenfell to feel as though any kind of resolution is going to come from this.
Well, I agree with a great deal of what the Honourable Lady said. And yes, it is that sense of justice and change. Clearly, there is an ongoing police inquiry which we must let take its course, and of course the work of the independent inquiry itself. This point about residents being listened to and respect being shown, I think is very, very powerful and very, very important, and one that will require culture change in so many ways. That process has started, but I know that there is more work that needs to be done. She highlights the issue of the social housing regulator, something that I know is of keen importance and something that is a key aspect of the Social Housing Green Paper. I am very clear from the responses that I have seen to that, to the representations on that we need a much stronger response in terms of not just listening to tenants but acting on their concerns. This is the point. It's not just sort of trying to put something in place for the sake of it. It's actually seeing that where there are complaints over building safety, and there are separate regulations and issues that will come through for the implementation, the Hackett review as well, that where complaints are made, there is a speedy process to see that things are done and remedied. And that is, for me, and will be the test in relation to all of this. And of course, we will keep in contact with the Scottish Government, and I am open-minded as to where we can take learning, where we can apply and use lessons in a two-way basis, and there is good communication between my officials and officials in the Scottish Government as well, and therefore that we learn the lessons, but equally very firmly see that difference.